Count on LEX18 News.
A modern-day massacre of historic proportions at a country music festival in Las Vegas.
It was a scary time in my life. I thought it was over. I really did.
The number of dead in the dozens, the number of wounded in the hundreds.
I'm going to sit on the suspect's door. I need everybody in that hallway to be aware of it and get back.
Shots fired from a world-famous hotel, 32 stories above the unsuspecting crowd.
We are joined together today in sadness, shock, and grief.
Many Kentuckians with terrifying stories of survival.
People were carrying other people. They were putting them in the back of the beds of trucks.
LEX18 News at 6 starts now.
And we take you live right away to Las Vegas, where a news conference is underway with the latest about the investigation into last night's mass shooting.
Of our updates, and then we have other individuals here standing behind me that are going to make some comments, reference other issues associated with today's events. So there's two things we're attempting to achieve. One is we have to finish processing the scenes. We have 3 separate scenes we are working out. Actually, it will be 4 at this point. So we have the 32nd floor, the room at the Mandalay Bay. We have the event location, the house in Mesquite, and then now we have SWAT standing by, getting ready to hit the house in northern Nevada. At this point, we did, in the last briefing, I was unable to tell you what we retrieved from the house in Mesquite. We retrieved in the excess, Aaron, how many firearms was it? In excess of 18 additional firearms, some explosives, and several thousand rounds of ammo, along with some electronic devices that we are evaluating at this point. I mentioned that SWAT is about to breach the house up in northern Nevada, and then I'm going to give you an update on the casualty numbers. We are currently standing at 527 for individuals injured, and individuals that have died or passed away, 59. So what we're doing at this point, we have several people calling about personal items located at the stadium. We are not done processing that scene yet, and once we are done processing the scene, we will make arrangements for people that attended the stadium that believe they have personal items there to respond to the area, and we will help you retrieve your items. At this point, I want to bring Greg Castle forward from the County Fire Department, and he will give you an update on the Family Resource Center. Prior to that, I think it's important and I appreciate for you to put this out, for the people's families that are responding to the Las Vegas area. Some local proprietaries have offered up rooms for the family members at no charge, and that is the Boyd Group, Stations Casinos, the South Point with Mr. Gone, and also Siegel Suites. So one more time, the Boyd Group, Stations Casinos, the South Point with Mr. Gone, and the Siegel Suites. So individuals responding to the Las Vegas area in need of accommodations, those individual properties will accommodate you. So Greg.
Thank you, Sheriff. My name is Greg Castle, Fire Chief of the Clark County Fire Department. And as the Sheriff said, there's a couple things I want to mention. The first off is the Family Assistance Center. The Family Assistance Center is set up right now. It's a combination of police department, fire department, the coroner's office, and other local entities working together to provide the services for the families and for that are coming into town or that are still here trying to handle what has happened with their loved ones. They're providing all kinds of services. As the Sheriff said, many places have stepped up to provide flights, housing, food, transportation, and many other things. So that's a wonderful thing for our community to have come forward and have done. This facility is located in the South Hall of the Convention Center, S2, and it's pretty much taken up the entire South Hall. There's also a donation drop-off area that's been set up to facilitate people wanting to drop off non-perishable goods over there at that site, water and so forth. That entrance to that is off of Sierra Vista, right just west of this Convention Center Area Command Metro building at Joe W. Brown and Sierra Vista. So I'd like to take an opportunity right now to thank the men and women of the fire departments, the Clark County Fire Department, obviously very near and dear to my heart, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, Henderson Fire Department, and North Las Vegas Fire Department. As we were all teamed up there last night doing what we've trained for so many years. We wish would never happen, but we definitely had a plan in place, and we were able to execute that plan as well as we possibly could. We had 108 firefighters on scene. We have 155 unit hours just for the Clark County Fire Department alone spent last night handling that scene, teaming up with our partners from the law enforcement to reach as many people as fast as we could and to try to do as much.
Well, a lot of that information, of course, is for the local community, local media, but what we take, the big update here, and we hate to see the death toll climb, but it has climbed to 59 people dead now and right at 527 people hurt.
And now the search for answers, of course, has only begun for investigators who are working to identify the dead and somehow figure out why someone would want to indiscriminately kill innocent people. Our big story team coverage begins in Las Vegas.
Stories of survival in Las Vegas during the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history.
Then the guy down in front of us about 10 feet up goes down. The guy to the right of him about 3 feet over goes down.
What should have been a night of fun turned into a night of terror.
Somebody just started running saying, "Oh my gosh, he's shot, he's shot." And there's people in front of us that were getting shot, and you were seeing, as you were hearing the shots going off, you were hearing just them hit the ground. I mean, there's the guy in front of us who's running, got shot in his back, and he was still running.
Bullets rained down from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort onto a crowd of about 22,000.
We had to cross the field where the people were getting shot. Every time we heard shots, we would hit the ground and just stay there until they would stop for about 30, 45 seconds, and then we would run as fast as we could. And we just thought we were going to die. There's no other thing. I thought the shooting would never end.
Survivors shocked but grateful to be alive.
You don't believe you'll ever be a part of now what's going down as the largest massive shooting on our grounds. You don't think you'd be a part of it.
Well, as the gunshots rang out, people scrambled to escape the relentless attack.
2 Kentuckians were among those who ducked into a trailer behind the concert stage for cover during the hail of gunfire. LEX18's Conroy DeLuce continues our big story team coverage.
James Oceanbine and Chad Perkins had just wrapped up their week live streaming interviews of country music stars like Jason Aldean. While getting a drink, Chad and James heard pops that the two thought were firecrackers.
Very loud. It sounded very close to us, and then we realized that people were starting to run, and we started to run.
They ran into a trailer with other crew members, waiting for about 10 minutes before Las Vegas police ordered them out of the area.
It was a war zone. People were carrying other people. They were putting them in the back of the beds of trucks. We saw, other concert goers giving people CPR, chest compressions. One woman was in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I didn't even want to look at it. I wasn't,
The sidewalk we were walking on had bloody footprints.
The two cut through back streets to get back to their hotel. They called and texted their loved ones to let them know they were safe, then watched the news in horror for hours as more details emerged and the number of dead climbed. Covering the news, Conroy DeLuce, LEX18 News.
A former Miss Kentucky who lives in Vegas now says the tragedy has rocked the city, telling LEX18 some businesses didn't even open today. LEX18's Kylan Mills joins us with more.
Nancy, Janet Lohman grew up in Louisville but has called Las Vegas home for the last 17 years. She says she woke up this morning sick to her stomach over the news, but she says the people of Vegas are resilient.
When I got up this morning, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. I had no idea what was going on.
A horrific tragedy unfolding while Janet Lohman was fast asleep. She says she was shocked to hear about the mass shooting at a music festival near the Mandalay Bay Hotel.
It's a coward's way out, if you ask me, if they want to take somebody else's life and destroy what could have been a happy event for everyone. And it's just a very sad day here in Vegas.
A former Miss Kentucky, Lohman moved to Las Vegas 17 years ago and works at Wayne Newton's Casa de Shenandoah. Today, she says the tourist attraction was closed out of respect and because it was tough for employees and tourists to get around with a police investigation on the Strip. Tonight, while heartbroken, she says the community will march on.
People, though, are amazing. They're resilient. They're showing up in many ways down on the Strip today, giving blood, taking water, food, snacks, everything.
Lohman wants to encourage visitors to still come out to Vegas. She says they shouldn't be afraid. She also wanted to say thank you and send love to all those back here in Kentucky who sent along their thoughts and prayers to her. Back to you now, Kevin.
Thank you, Kylan. Doctors and nurses at UK Hospital are also keeping a close eye on how the Las Vegas attack is being handled. UK is the only trauma center in the area, and if there was a mass casualty in central Kentucky, that's where the victims would go. LEX18's Tiffany Jackson found out more about their preparations, and she continues our big story team coverage.
More than 50 dead and hundreds more injured.
No one has been in this situation before.
The tragedy in Las Vegas has communities around the country wondering, how do you prepare for responding to an emergency like this?
There's really no preparing for that number.
But the emergency room at UK Hospital makes it a top priority to be as ready as they can in case tragedy should strike in our area.
Every 3 months, we'll do simulation here. We'll bring some patients in that are made to look like victims, and we'll bring them through the trauma bay and up to the ORs if they need it to make sure that we're ready and prepared.
Dr. Cynthia Talley is part of a task force that meets monthly to discuss ways they can best respond to mass emergency events, and each tragedy changes the way they prepare.
After every mass casualty, we get an after-action report from that hospital, that surrounding community on what they went through and what they were able to do that worked well, and what their lessons learned are.
While the professionals prepare for the worst, you can too by educating yourself in emergency care.
You can learn how to hold pressure, place a tourniquet if you need to, and really save someone's life that you're sitting next to.
Covering the news in Lexington, Tiffany Jackson, LEX18 News.
For more information about emergency classes, visit stopthebleed.org.
The University of Kentucky Police Department is hosting an active shooter training course. Over the past 2 years, they've taught nearly 7,000 people. The training course teaches students how to handle different types of dangerous situations, just like that shooting in Las Vegas last night.
Anywhere there are large gatherings now are becoming targets for these individuals who have some type of behavioral problems, whether they're, the lone wolf or terrorism. I mean, it's just a fact of our society today.
The next class, which was already scheduled, is October 18th at 6 in Patterson Hall.
While hospitals can train for tragedies such as this, will they have everything they may need?
Officials in Nevada have said they need all the blood they can get to help the hundreds of people injured. LEX18's Catherine Gardner checked in with the Kentucky Blood Center to see if we would be ready here.
It's sad and terrifying to say a horrific incident like what happened in Vegas could happen anywhere. But officials at the Kentucky Blood Center, that's one reason why they're always asking for donations. Martha Osborne with the Kentucky Blood Center says they've reached out to the Las Vegas Blood Center and is on standby should they need extra blood. But for the folks here in Lexington that have already donated, Kentucky Blood Center officials say thank you.
Only way we can be prepared is if people come out and donate on a regular basis. At this point in time, our shelves are pretty good. We've really worked hard to get the shelves fully stocked, and we hope we can help if the need arises anywhere.
The Kentucky Blood Center closes at 6 on Mondays and Fridays and 7 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But if you're interested in donating blood yourself, you can always call the Kentucky Blood Center to make an appointment, or you can walk into any of their locations. Covering the news in Lexington from the LEX18 Mobile Newsroom. Back to you guys.
Keep up with the latest developments in the Las Vegas attack with updates on LEX18.com. And stay tuned for a full hour of NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt live from Las Vegas, starting at 6:30 right here on LEX18.
More LEX18 news after this.